Philanthropy has long been viewed as the act of the rich, helping the poor. The history and teaching of philanthropy rooted in stories of wealthy families like the Rockefellers, Fords, Carnegies, Oprah, billionaires whose legacies evoke images of unattainable wealth and success. But what if we don't need to be wealthy to lead a rich life? Today, we are going to unlock everyone's capital. Your financial capital, your human capital, and your social capital. Everyone watching this TEDx talk has the power to be a philanthropist, and I'll show you how. I was lucky. I grew up in a household filled with philanthropy. My dad worked at John Deere, leading their foundation. What started as traditional corporate checkbook writing in the 1970s was quickly evolving into companies realizing they can use both their earnings and their expertise to make a difference. I remember going to work one day with my dad. We got up really early in the morning to go to John Deere's headquarters in Moline, Illinois. I remember cramming into the back seat of his car with a big check and giant green and yellow balloons. To someone who didn't know what we were doing, we probably looked like a clown car. But I knew exactly what we were doing, and I felt like $1,000,000. We arrived at John Deere's headquarters for a check presentation to the future farmers of America. When we got there, everybody was smiling and feeling good, and I had a really important job. I stood on stage and held that big check for the entire presentation. But it was so much more than a check. John Deere was making an investment. They were investing in the next generation of farmers who would survive and thrive in the heartland and come to rely on John Deere as a company dedicated to their prosperity. I thought to myself, this isn't just charity, this is smart business. But I'm here today to share some good news. There has been a significant rise in available resources to make a positive difference. We are amongst a great wealth transfer that will put more money in the hands of women than ever before. It is projected that women will own $93 trillion worth of wealth by 2023. That's almost double 2015. And why does this matter to philanthropy? Well, it might not come as a surprise that women are more motivated to give, they give away more of their wealth, and they are more likely to support other women and girls. There's also a high percentage of people investing in philanthropy, with more than half of US households giving to charity each year. There are more than 1 billion volunteers worldwide, and the world is interconnected like never before, with more than 4 billion people on social media. So what does this mean to your value? I like alliteration, so let's use the 4 T's. Treasure, time, talent, and testimony. Regardless of your creed, color, or culture, these are 4 sources of useful capital. Let's start with treasure. Do you need to be wealthy like Mackenzie Scott to be a philanthropist? Well, who wouldn't dream of giving $8.5 billion away in a single year? But no, you don't need to be wealthy to lead a rich life. Treasure is not a sum or a shiny object, it is an intention. No one remembers how many cars Oprah gave away or their total sum value, but they remember how it felt. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. One of my favorite quotes is by Maya Angelou. She said, "I've learned people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Here are 3 ways you can feel like Mackenzie Scott or Oprah Winfrey without their checkbook. 1, invest responsibly. Some people treat philanthropy like the extra money they have to give away. What if we think about that differently? What if we think about philanthropy as the money we have to invest now? If we care about women, we should invest in companies who have a high percentage of women on their boards. If we care about the environment, we should invest in companies that are on the forefronts of environmental sustainability. Collaborate. Women Moving Millions is a network of 300+ women who have each dedicated $1 million to support women and girls. Giving circles like these have more than doubled in recent years, with 2,000 of them across the country and countless in the Chicagoland area. Some only require a $100 donation to join. So think about it. What if we started a TEDx Giving Circle today and we each gave $100? That would equate to thousands of dollars immediately to invest in our communities. Don't wait. Warren Buffett shocked the world when he said he would donate a mass amount of his wealth to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation during his lifetime. It was shocking because he first said he would build the wealth and then donate it upon his death. When asked about his change of heart, Warren Buffett simply said, "I know what I want to do, and it makes sense to get going." Well, we can get going too. And you don't need to be Warren Buffett to have a foundation. You can open up a donor-advised fund today with no minimum contribution. Making philanthropy accessible and investing in philanthropy has never been so easy, quick, or affordable. So let's move on to your next two T's, your time and your talents, two of our most precious commodities. Do you know that the average value of a volunteer hour is $30? Volunteers around the world donate up to $200 billion worth of their time every year volunteering in their communities. Here are 3 ways you can make a difference with your time and talents. You can volunteer. You know, it's become so easy to volunteer these days because of COVID. There's been a rise in online volunteerism. You can literally binge watch your shows while you volunteer. I'm not joking. Download missing maps and start to map roads and disaster response routes while you're watching The Amazing Race. Or you can use your newfound Wordle skills to help students learn English. A lot of ways that you can volunteer can also include your children or your workplace. Host a volunteer event with your colleagues and bring your children along. Some of my favorite memories volunteering have been alongside my family with urban initiatives, Cradles to Crayons, and our very own Bernie's Book Bank. Children of all ages can start to engage and make a difference and learn how to use their time to help others. The other thing you can do with your time is you can mentor. You can't be what you can't see. Mentoring is one of the most impactful ways that you can make a difference on someone's life. Youth who are mentored have a 40% chance higher likelihood of going to college and an 80% higher likelihood of graduating. Organizations like iMentor and Big Brothers Big Sisters are recruiting mentors in Illinois right now. When I was in college, I mentored a young girl named Mary. Mary lived in a small house with 7 siblings. There was not a lot of love in Mary's house, but Mary loved animals. When we got together, we would go to pet stores, we would watch movies about animals, read books about animals, visit my friends who had animals, we'd even go to the zoo. After 4 years of working with Mary, she grew from a shy little girl into a confident and caring young woman who, guess what, became a veterinarian. The other thing you can do with your time is you can join a board. With more than 1.5 million registered charities across the U.S., it's safe to assume there are millions of opportunities to serve. When you serve on a board, you invest your personal and professional expertise to help nonprofits advance their mission, vision, and purpose. Governing boards, advisory boards, auxiliary boards, and emerging leader boards are all excellent ways to invest your time and expertise. So that leads us to the final T, your testimony. Networks are powerful tools. Use your colleagues, friends, and social media accounts for good. You can start a Facebook fundraiser for your birthday or someone else's. You can contact legislators or sign online petitions. Participate in Giving Tuesday or participate in Global Philanthropy Day. You can also just simply like the charities that you love and share their stories on Instagram or LinkedIn. Don't underestimate the value of your voice. Use your testimony to help others. So how are we feeling about making a difference? Are we all in? In 2020, Americans gave a record $471 billion to charity. That's $54 million an hour, or $9 million just while we've been talking. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to lock your eyes on one bucket of capital behind me that you can make a difference in today. When you have it, stand up. Imagine the powerful company you're in. I want to leave you with that memory of being in the backseat of my dad's car with the green and yellow balloons and the giant Ed McMahon check. I felt like $1 million, and you can too, because you don't need to be wealthy to lead a rich life. You already do. Thank you.